After the Joes are ambushed, they must regroup to take down the Cobra forces. This is G.I. Joe Retaliation.
Let me get this straight. One whole weekend, you looking after my little girls.
Yep, as long as I can bring this. I love your kids, but they live to terrorize me.
I do. See that?
Security's early.
I was not really looking forward to G.I. Joe Retaliation. I had seen the first one, but I don't really remember it. But I figured as long as it doesn't take itself too seriously and is a lot of stupid fun, it could definitely be entertaining and a good time. And while it definitely doesn't take itself seriously, and it is very stupid, it unfortunately is not a lot of fun. There's a lot of things that you could complain about with this movie, so I don't really know where to begin, but I guess I'll start with the story. The story was like bare bones minimum. There was really hardly a story. It was basically Cobras want to take over the world. There was no real development or anything. It just kind of existed, and that would have been fine if it hadn't been for the terrible action and boring everything, which I'll get to later. But also, in terms of the story, there were really flat characters. They were boring. I sometimes couldn't even tell them from another because they were just so standard. They had no personality, really. And that really killed it a lot for the movie. Because if you don't care about the characters, you're not going to care about the movie. In terms of the acting, it was all pretty bad. Nobody really stood out. Channing Tatum, he was actually, I guess he was pretty good, but he was the only one that really stood out from the cast. Dwayne Johnson, he really did absolutely nothing. The other people aren't even really worth mentioning. Bruce Willis, he was okay, but he was just kind of there. So yeah, acting very bad, like the rest of the film. Now this film could have been saved by a good director who had a lot of fun action sequences, cool style, but unfortunately that is not here because the film is just really dull. The action scenes are really clunky. They didn't feel fresh. They just felt been there, done that. There were certainly some scenes that could have been cool if they had been handled better. There was one scene that was like a prison escape scene, and that was pretty decent, I thought. That was probably one of the better scenes. But there was a scene that took place on like the side of a cliff. Should have been one of the best parts of the movie. Should have been really cool, a lot of fun. And first of all, it was just really boring. And another thing that killed it was that it looked so fake. And you could obviously tell that a lot of it was CGI and it just looked so fake. It totally took me out of it. There were two things about the film that I liked. The first one was there's a scene towards the end that kind of involves a lot of destruction, I'll say, without giving anything away. And if you've seen the movie, you definitely know what I'm talking about. That part really, I kind of went like, whoa. Like, I was pretty, like, excited about that part because it was actually really cool, and I thought it was, I don't know if I'd say well done, but it was definitely a step above everything else in the movie. So it's almost like they put all their energy into that one 10-second scene shot thing. Might have only been one shot, I don't really remember, but I thought that was very good. And then there was one scene that was kind of fun where they are going through the house of Bruce Willis and he's showing them where he's hidden all his guns and weapons, and that was fun and funny, and that worked well with the music, I thought. So yeah, G.I. Joe Retaliation is just as stupid as you would expect. It definitely lacks substance, but that could have been made up for if it had a cool style and had been fun. Unfortunately, it is neither of those. Unfortunately, I'm going to give this 1 star out of 4. It was really boring. I wanted it to be over almost as soon as it had started. It could have been saved if it was fun, but unfortunately it wasn't, and it was just kind of a really stupid action movie that felt like it was made by 6th graders for 6th graders. So let me know what you thought of G.I. Joe Retaliation. Did you not like it just like me, or did you actually find this to be sort of diamond in the rough? If you did enjoy it, let me know why, and if you agree with me, let me know what points we agree on. If you like the words that I'm saying, or you just find me so darn handsome, you can follow me on Twitter. The link will be down in the info. And also remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And that was G.I. Joe Retaliation.